Hello everyone, this is Nigel Boas, and I'm going to give an example of a situation right out of the bat that I'm sure most people have been through it. One person is staring another at a distance outside of the field of view, but the person that is being stared at suddenly turns around to look directly at the person who is staring them. If you are in this kind of situation at either position, you probably felt embarrassment, but that embarrassment may just take away from the fact that something almost extraordinary happened. The person that was being stared at just had a spider sense moment and detected something that was outside of their normal senses. The thing is, we have some of these occurrences happen everywhere in our lives. We just really don't pay attention to it. And if we take those things and we kind of disregard them as a coincidence because they happen so often and with everyone, we get to something that is not mainstream knowledge, which means that it's not being taught that in schools, but it still has some kind of coherence to it. This is the fact that we have kind of a sixth sense. Although this term is loosely defined because it is used to describe everything that is outside of the 5 normal senses, I do believe that it's kind of have some sense to it. I really love hearing about those day-to-day occurrences because I believe that that's what makes them true. The people who are doing it certainly don't do it for clout. Let's take one example. While I was researching about the topic, I found this on Quora. Shout out to C. Vincent. While I'm not a psychic or anything like that, I do have some unexplained moments where I feel or sense things. It's not something I try to do, nor I can control it or predict it when it will happen. It's just a random but interesting coincidence. Of course, like a lot of parents, I can sense when a child is doing something mischievous by the sheer loudness of the silence in the house, or feel them lurking motionless around the corner, ready to leap out and shout boo. I have an 80% score of turning this back on my 15-year-old son and scaring the bejeebus out of him instead. This isn't really a sixth sense, just parental awareness. I always sense when my older daughter is about to visit, and I will say, Sissy will be here soon, usually 2 to 5 minutes before she arrives. Her visits are random and I can't hear her car or anything. No idea to explain that. I'm constantly finding I will text my kids that have moved out of home at the exact minute a text comes from them. After I've started typing. Possibly explainable by the subtle frequency of a mobile signal, but not until they have pressed send, I'd have thought. I handily get it, people a drink or pass them a pen, something, and then reply, how did you know I wanted that? Not even when would I expect they would feel thirsty, such as after hard work, or when they are doing an activity that requires a pen. I was talking to a stranger online and so randomly got a strong feeling they were from northeast of me at the time, but they say they live south. After 3 messages from them, turns out they were. Seems like a small silly thing, but those things happen out of nowhere and it's just super interesting to me and I'm curious as to how it happened. I love to hear others who have this kind of experience with any theories or explanation on how or why, if it is just pure coincidence. So yes, this was a short to read, but not because it was badly written by any means. I don't believe it's just pure coincidence, but it's true that we don't have clear explanation on how those things work, and that explains why we don't really give attention in today's societies. We just focus on the things that are clearly explained. If we don't have an organ that is responsible for those kinds of feelings in our body, or people don't have identified it yet, we really won't bat an eye. Of course, we have to worry about bigger problems, but still, I got a feeling that for the individual, the feeling that you can do those kinds of things, that you have those almost like superpowers, even if they are not flashy or they are not clear or they are not as efficient for you to use to combat crime or anything like that, I still feel they can be very useful for you to believe that you can do something, that you can improve on the things that you do in life in general. So yes, I know it was a little bit messy of idea construction, but that's how I feel about the subject. If you like it or have anything to add, please comment below and see you in the next one.